Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be replacing, upgrading and installing the SRAM GX AXS on my bike with an existing XT derailleur. To be exact, let me walk you through my group set really quickly. So I have a full XT M8100, that's M8100 model. So 12-speed cassette, 12-speed derailleur and a 32 chainring in the front. If you plan on doing this, the key here is as long as you have a 12-speed group set, regardless of XT, SLX or XTR, they should work the same. I did not know what the B-tension screw or the limit screws were exactly until in about 20 minutes into this video. I've never worked on the derailleur before, but the process is quite easy, so if you are wondering, is it too difficult or can you do it on your own? My answer to you is yes, you can do it, but it's to come on it. It just takes a little time, so if that sounds convincing enough, let's get to it. So let's open the box and get the derailleur set up first. This is not a dream build video, so you're not gonna hear soothing music or anything like that. But my neighbor is nice enough to comfort us with some relaxing music that got my thumb twitching as fast as the rapper in it. And that was one last spin on the XT, as good and as smooth as it can be. I'm going to do this the harder way to save some money on the quick link, because the quick link is made to be used once. Once you break it or disconnect it, you'll need to replace it with a new one, and that's $13.99. I don't have $13.99 right now, so I'm going to keep the chain in one piece. I'm not breaking, disconnecting anything from the chain at all. However, I'm going to remove both of the pulley wheels one at a time, of course, so I can fit the chain back to the derailleur in the proper orientation. And of course, you don't have to follow this step. If your chain is getting older, then you can also replace the new chain, or you can just buy the quick link to replace it. That should speed up the process a little bit as well. Now I'm removing the existing oh shit, almost dropped. I'm removing the existing derailleur, and it's kind of tight, and just so you know how confident I am by not removing the XT completely yet. So time to install the new derailleur. Give it a proper torque. In this case it is 11 Newton meter. And make sure you keep that black thing tight to the hanger. Don't give it any gap as you tighten. Alright, now I'm removing the upper pulley wheel, and this is the wrong way of routing the chain, so don't do this. I made a minor mistake on this part, but I'll leave this clip here so you know what not to do. I'll come back to correct that later, it's not a big deal. But don't route the chain like that. Okay, moving on to the bottom pulley wheel. I'm removing it from the derailleur and wrapping the chain in this manner. By the way, you should pay attention to the pulley wheel instead of my glove. That's a sweet cut, by the way. You should remove the pulley wheel one at a time. If you do both of them at the same time, the inner plate will and can drop. So I'm coming back to reroute my chain. I don't know how to explain that part, but a correct picture would help. So that's how it should be routed. Then torque both of the pulley wheels to approximately 3 Newton meter. Alright, now it's time to put the wheel back and see if it spins. So I'm just pushing the bottom pulley wheel down and forward, and on SRAM derailleur there's a lock that prevents the pulley wheel from swinging back, so make use of that. And give it a slow spin, and that does not look good. My upper pulley wheel is too close to the cassette. It is touching and it can't move further out to the bigger cassette. I need to make more room between the cassette and the upper pulley. And who's responsible for that? The B tension, so let's go work on that. Remove the $20 battery cover that comes with the kit, which can potentially be traded in for a quick link, hint hint. And this is the B tension screw right here. Again, push the bottom pulley wheel down and forward and lock it so the derailleur has room to swing. Now pull the derailleur back a little and screw the B tension in a clockwise direction. Again, I'm doing this to create more space between the upper pulley wheel and the cassette. Now that's better. There's quite a bit of room, and here's the difference. Well, it's a bad picture to show for comparison, but you get the idea. Alright, we're making progress here, so that's good. So you may ask, how do I know when to stop tightening the B tension bolt, or if I'm not tightening enough? Simmer down, I found a solution. So the B-tension tool that comes with the kit is specifically for SRAM cassette, therefore it will not work for Shimano's. I've watched a few YouTube tutorials and a few dozen YouTube tutorials, and an individual by the channel MTB Love is showing the distance between the bottom of the biggest cog and the upper pulley wheel while shifting to the lowest gear as shown here. His comes out to about 42 millimeters. That's a good starting or stopping point. It's not critical if you go over, let's say, a few millimeters. It still works. You're just creating unnecessary gap, and potentially that could affect your shifting efficiency. That's all. However, I'm wondering if that number varies from bike to bike, specifically from the Derailleur hanger to the Derailleur hanger. All right. Anyway, please correct me if I'm missing something here. I'm not talking about the pronunciation. Get out of here. By the way, I still go to use my older shifter while having the remote on my other hand. I don't know about you, but I'm having a good time. Alright, let's test this again slowly and see if it goes all the way. Okay, looks like it went through just fine, and here's a little back pedal and the chain does not drop. I do hear some noise from the chain and the cassette rubbing. That means I need to micro adjust. And to do that, press and hold the button on the shifter while shifting up or down accordingly. And the movement is so small, but you can tell by looking at the LED on the derailleur when it moves. Alright, we're almost done. Now let's work on the limit screws. What the limit screws do is they prevent the chain from going too far out of the cassette into the spokes or too far in, passing the smallest cog on accident. Either way, it's not good. It can damage your spokes or the frame. So shift all the way to the largest cassette and use the 3mm hex key to screw the bolt that's closer to you, like so. And as soon as it touches, back off about a quarter turn based on SRAM's recommendation. And vice versa, bring the chain back to the smallest cassette like shown here and set the bolt that is far away from you. Again, as soon as it touches, back off a quarter turn, and don't forget your 3 mils. Yes. Chop chop, shall we? Alright guys, I hope this has been helpful from a rider who doesn't know much about mechanical issues. I'd say it's more of a time consumed than the difficulty of knowing what to do. So B-tension, micro adjust, and the limit screws, that's all you need to know mainly. And I just went a step further by not breaking my chain and routing it through the pulley wheels instead, so I could save some money on the quick link, the missing link, whatever you call it. But again, you're more than welcome to use a new quick link or perhaps a new chain even, and that would definitely speed up the process even more. And in terms of how it performs, how it rides, how it shifts, that is a subject for another video, which I will do soon, and the link should be up here somewhere once I'm done with that, so keep an eye out. Any suggestions, concerns, or recommendations regarding this upgrade or installation, or what to look out for when I'm out testing this SRAM GX AXS, please let me know in the comment section. I sure appreciate that. Until then, I'll see you next time. Have fun riding, everybody.